Vijana in action. TRBD. Kazi kwa nguvu. TRBD. Hustle every day. Hustle every day. Hustle every day. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Vijana in action. CIBD. Vijana in action.
Saseni Vijana, my name is Sylvia Gichia. I am early 30s and I'm a photographer as well as a jewelry designer. The name of my business is Visual Eyes Productions. It's a photography company and it provides photography services to different organizations, people. My business is located at the Kuona Art Center in Kilimani, and it's doing pretty well considering I'm a one-man show. I work by myself unless I have big projects, which means I have to hire other people to come and help me work. I've been doing photography for a long time, but for about 5 years seriously, where I'm actually living and making money from it. I am a professional photographer and I studied in Washington, D.C. at the Washington School of Photography, where I did a 2-year degree course in photography. In my business, you require cameras, for instance, and then the cameras that I use, the SLRs, are the bigger cameras that have a variety of different lenses. So the lenses help a lot in terms of the different type of work that you're doing. This is a long lens, and then you have shorter lenses. And I use Nikon, which is the make of the camera. Some people use Canon or Sony or anything else, but this is my preference. You also need a laptop or a computer if you're going to edit. These days we're using a lot of digital equipment. So it means that you have to transfer your images from your camera to a computer, and then if you're editing like I do, I clean up the pictures before I can give them to the client. I put in captions if I have something to tell in terms of a story, or I just present the picture as is if I'm happy with it. Well, I used to work in the photography industry in another country. So when I came back to Kenya, I came back with a bit of equipment. So a few cameras, a few lights that had helped me in the initial part of my business. So the only problems that I encountered when I started the business was finding clients who could trust me and give me the job. My core business in photography is documentary photography. I work for a number of different organizations where I take photographs of their projects, both locally and internationally, which means I travel quite a bit. I also do a lot of events for different organizations. I do weddings, and I also do some magazine work. My inspiration is basically based on what I see in people's lives and what changes their lives, and being able to tell their stories in a happy way. For a long time, we get a lot of African stories told with a child with a makamasi on his face, or the child with flies on their faces, but I think they're really happy stories to tell about the African continent and Kenya as a whole. And this is my home, and I'd like to be able to tell happy stories about us. So for me, I do a lot of natural pictures. For instance, this is a picture of the fish market in Kisumu. It's tilapia. You know, we see it every day, we pass it every day, but you ignore it. But then look how beautiful it looks. Like, look at the hands that are holding these coffee beans, are pretty rotten and rough. But the vibrance of the coffee steals away from the actual hands. But this is not a rich person who's holding the beans, you know? But the beans look rich. So that's a message right there. That's documentary photography. The cost of my pictures range anywhere between 5,000 to 12,000. Again, it depends on the size of the photograph or the way that we frame them. Some people prefer to have frames, nice big frames, so it costs more. Some people prefer to have the frame without, you know, the hanging frame like this. So that's a lot less expensive. But all the pictures that I have here are for sale, and they were part of exhibitions that I've been holding. This is my award-winning picture. It was published by National Geographic in the States. It was a picture that I put in as a contest on culture. We were asked to take photos on different cultures, and this was my submission and it was published. So I'm very proud of this picture.
Vijana in action. Vijana in action.
My day is usually set in that I already have a brief of what I'm supposed to be doing. If I'm visiting a project with farmers, then I go and meet the farmers, and then I would be documenting what the farmers do in their farms per the brief of the client. However, if I'm working in my studio, I would either be editing pictures or designing my jewelry, because I do jewelry on the side. What sets me apart from everyone else is my style and my passion. I think that we all have different styles, we all have different passions, we all have different personalities, and what I strive for is to tell the stories of other people in my own style.
You don't have to be sitting behind a desk for you to feel like you're earning a salary.
Do something that can help you. Vijaya, explore your talents.
For a long time we have been having problems. The youth have not been given what they are supposed to get in terms of competition, facility, but in the recent times I find the change has been very positive to us, and actually I see many youths, they're now going into business because the field is now being leveled towards that attaining that goal.
Kama tungesapotiwa, kila vijana wangepata kazi, mambo ingekuwa poa sana, na competition bado iko stiff sana. Sasa lazima tungangane tupate hiyo capital, ndio tu. Shida kwanza kabisa ni hiyo capital ya ku start biashara. Kama sasa ministry ama wakaingilia wakatusaidia, inaweza kuwa poa.
Vijana in action.
In terms of marketing my work, I feel that sometimes your work speaks for itself. I do a lot of exhibitions at different places. I just finished one at the Alliance Française. I was doing them at Ramoma, and just anywhere that will allow me to show my work, I'm quite happy to exhibit. I have a website as well where my work can be viewed, and usually when people come to me asking to show samples of my work, I direct them to the website, which is www.visualeyesproduction.com. www.visualeyesproduction.com. Otherwise, it's word of mouth. If a client is happy with my work, they're more than likely to refer me to another client. A lot of people in Kenya haven't quite taken to photography as a serious business, so that if you're producing quality pictures and you mark them up to a price where you feel is reasonable for marketing, or that your dues are expected, I get a lot of resistance. So people haven't quite embraced photography. Another one is equipment. It's a bit difficult to find equipment in Kenya for the price that it should be. If it comes, it's overpriced, it's expensive. 5 years from now, I see myself heading or owning a number of different photography institutions where we could be teaching photography and handing down information and educating students on photography in the region, so not only in Kenya but in East Africa and hopefully Central Africa. What I can advise young people is, if you have a passion in photography or in any art, I would speak about photography because that's where I am. Just go for it. You know, the industry is big, it's growing, technology is coming in. There are not enough local photographers. We find that a lot of our photographers, the local photographers, are either paparazzi or, you know, just starting off. Don't be discouraged. Just go for it. Do it. There's money in it. There's a whole life of photography in it, and we can do it as Kenyan photographers. I am very keen on educating people because I was very lucky to have gone to a photography school, a professional solely photography school. So the handing over of information for me is very important. So what I've created is a workshop, a 12-week workshop where I teach photography. I invite other professional photographers to come in and share information with those people who are keen on learning photography. Anyone interested in learning photography or joining the workshops in photography can feel free to contact me through my website, www.visualeyesproductions.com. Saseni Vijana, my name is Sylvia. I am a professional photographer. I take quality photographs, usually for documentary purposes, and you're watching Vijana in Action.
Vijana in action. Bidii, kazi kwa nguvu, tia bidii. Hustle every day, hustle every day, hustle every day.